Lucienne. What we will do is this little object we're going to make as a motif, and then I will show you what you can do with just one little motif. And before we do that, I want to show you what I did. Right mouse click on your grid and it will open. Put the horizontal at 1 and vertical in 1. Snap to grid and snap to guides. Also show rulers and guides, that's important. Also what you need to do is go to General, crosshair cursor. So, and then I click OK. I'm going to make this one. And before we do that, I'm going to go to Digitize Open Shape. Under Digitize, I go to Single Run. I'm going to start here halfway. More or less halfway. Then I go 2 down, 1, 2, and I go to here. And I go up, there, down, here. And you see every time I touch a grid line or a center of the grid, my crosshair cursor is turning red. That means it snaps to the grid. And we're going to do that one here. There, and this one also more or less halfway. And then enter. Now what I will do is I'm going to make some grid lines. And we will do that by clicking in the ruler. Let me click on escape, so my crosshair cursor is gone. And I click first on the 0 line in my ruler. Oh, also what I did, as you can see, my guideline is green. Go to background over here. When nothing is selected, you can click on background. If I select I call it W, I cannot. Then I have to go here, and you can change here your grid line or your guideline, also your grid line. But if I have nothing selected, I click here on background. And here, down below, you can change the color of your grid lines and the color of your guidelines. Also, you can change the background color, but I changed only the guideline in this case, in this green, bright green, so I can see it good, and click OK. So this is my first guideline. And now I will pick up my dot with my left mouse button and I will drag it to here. And you see the line, the grid line and the guideline are turning red. So I'm at the right spot. Here the same. Move it a little until they're both red and then it's okay. They are exactly on the grid and the guideline. Here the same. With this one also. And here also. So I'm going to remove it because I already make it. And I get rid of my grid lines by clicking on them and dragging them to the top, and then they will be gone. Maybe there's a shortcut for it. I don't know. So we're going to make our first motif. Click on it. I'm going to click on motif. Make a category. Click on new and give it a name. Beginner's motif test and click OK. Now you need to give the pattern a name. I will call it very quick 001 and I click OK. Now I have to put some reference points, and I will put one here in the center, right on the dot. Hold my control key down for a straight line, very important, and click again. And my motif is ready. Click OK. And you can see it here on the object properties that here is your motif. But we're not ready yet. Right mouse click, drag it to there, and flip it or mirror it vertically. So the same object, but then mirrored. Again, go to Motif and give your pattern a name, and we will say 001 mirrored, and click OK. And do the same. First click here, second click over there, and click OK. We're good to go. So let's make our first motif fill, the most simple one. Go to rectangle square, go to fill, and over here under your object properties, click on motif. Now this category is the black work. If I click on this arrow, I'm going to search for my beginner's motif test. And I click on it, and you will see here are the two motifs. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the other one that I made. So we start with this one, and what we will do is, let me see, rectangle square to be sure. Left mouse click, drag, 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 release, and click again. And this is the motif. It's already nice, and it's very plain, very simple, but it's nice. So let's make another one. Again, rectangle square, fill, we are already there, and we're going to use this one. So you can see there is a little difference between those two. It's exactly the opposite. This one is going like this, and this one is going like that. So that's the same but mirrored. Now what we can do with the first one, let me drag it all the way down, click on it so you select it, and drag it down by clicking with your right mouse button on it, and then move it. This one we're going to change. Over here under motif you have this one, alternate motif, but we're not going to use that one for now. We're going to save that for later. And we have layout. It could be that they're both closed. Then click on the arrow and it will open. Click on layout. And here you can play with the spacing. That is the row spacing, the column spacing, and the offset. For example, if I put my spacing here, the row spacing at 3, look, I have more space between the rows. I will put that back. I just show you. And if I put a spacing, this spacing, I will put that spacing on 4. It's coming closer together, and I have this one. So we leave this one for now. This one we're going to play with the offset. The pattern is 5, the width is 5, so I will put my offset on 2.5. 2.5, so it will be offset centered. And look, then you get this pattern. And also this pattern you can do the spacing. Let me put the spacing on 4 again. And you see it's also again a little different than the one in the top, because here we have a small, it's actually a little jump, but because it's so small it looks like just a stitch. And because if I make it 3, I do the column spacing on 3 and I say enter, look, the jump is getting bigger and it's crossing, it's going over each other. So that's what you can do too. So you go from this one to that one to that one. Let me see what else we can do. Oh, of course, what we can do too is pick it up, duplicate it, by right mouse click and drag it down. We're going to play with the angle. Let's put the angle on 45. And you get this. And of course you can put the angle on 90. And your line will be horizontal. So from the basic to there, and from the basic to there and to there. And of course you can do the same with this one. Put it over here and change the angle to 45. And you get something like this. So you see that is just with this one, only with this one, we get 8 different kinds of patterns, and you can play more with it because you can also put a spacing. Let me bring that one down, bring that one down. You could put a spacing on say 3 and enter, and look, it's looking like this. And do the same with this one. Put the spacing on 3, the row spacing on 3 and enter, and it looks like this. So that's just a matter of playing. But what we're going to do now is pick up the same one and we're going to play with this one also. Here it is. And we're going to use alternate motif. Click on it and it will open, and click on this one. And here you have your alternate motif. You see that this one is highlighted, the 001 is highlighted, and also here is highlighted. But now I'm going to click on this one, and we get 2 rows. So this is one row, and this is another row. So we're going to make this row mirrored. And look, completely different. They're just 2 motifs, one normal and one mirrored.